Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when Senator John Nderitu Kinyua came with a statement a week ago about the situation in Laikipia, my understanding is that he came on behalf of all the people who live in Laikipia, the rich, the poor, the farmers, the pastoralists, and people from all communities. And when we spoke on the floor of this House, we spoke on behalf of all communities that live in Laikipia, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's very sad that the security operation is now done in a manner that wants to divide the people of Laikipia. In fact, I dare say, like Senator Orengo said, we are not the problem. We are being, Mr. Speaker, pigeonholed to various communities. So that, Mr. Speaker, we come back to the floor of this House and say, you know, I speak for the farmers, I speak for the pastoralists, I speak for this community, I speak for the other community. We speak here on behalf of all the people of Laikipia. We speak here on behalf of all the people of Kerio Valley Triangle, Mr. Speaker, who are suffering because it is not the responsibility of Senator Lelegwe, who has now brought another important statement to provide security in Laikipia. It is not the responsibility of Senator Nderitu Kinyua. And like Senator Orengo said, we are here to ensure that we hold the government into account. Mr. Speaker, we will not accept, and I beg that our colleagues and the people of Laikipia and the people of Kenya do not fall into this trap where they are being told your problems as a result of this man, because this person is a Samburu, this one is a Turkana, this one is a Kisii, this one is a Kalenjin, this one is a Kikuyu, Mr. Speaker. The problem in Laikipia is security. It's not the tribe of the people who are inhabiting Laikipia County. And Mr. Speaker, what is happening in Laikipia is not unique to Laikipia alone. And I said it here 2 weeks ago. You are the DC of Marakwet. You dealt with that issue almost 20 years ago. And even before you became the DC in Marakwet, it was already there for another 20 years. The problem of Kerio Valley is a persistent problem that was there when President Jomo Kenyatta was the president. If you read the history and the story of the Ngoroko, Mr. Speaker, you know that this cattle rustling problem has been bedeviling the people of Kerio Valley from West Pokot to Turkana, Mr. Speaker, to Elgeyo Marakwet, to Baringo, to Samburu. That whole belt, Mr. Speaker, of Kerio Valley region has faced this problem for more than 50 years. The discussion we should be having here is about lasting solutions, Mr. Speaker. The discussion that should be happening in Laikipia, because I met another member of Parliament of National Assembly who, Mr. Speaker, was telling me, oh, you know, our community is being targeted. And I was asking him, your community is being targeted because you only heard about this problem today. But when 2017, when we went to Laikipia, Mr. Speaker, with the Deputy President and with the Minister of Interior, with the County Commissioner, Mr. Speaker, in fact, we were in a big meeting, Mr. Speaker, where we launched the NPR, National Police Reservice, both in Laikipia, Mr. Speaker, up to Turkana, through Baringo, West Pokot. Mr. Speaker, all these areas, we gave people NPR officers to supplement the work that the police were doing. Why were we doing that? We were using a method that was applied from the days of President Jomo Kenyatta, the days of President Moi, President Kibaki, President Uhuru, Mr. Speaker, and suddenly in second term of President Uhuru Kenyatta, some other officers in OP decided that they were going to, Mr. Speaker, remove all this local security and understand the terrain, Mr. Speaker, that were working with the police officers in that area, and now left the people to be exposed. Mr. Speaker, it is not the livestock which is the problem. It is not, Mr. Speaker, the communities which are the problem. The problem in Laikipia is the government inability to provide security for people in Laikipia, for people in Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Turkana, West Pokot, and Baringo to live in peace, Mr. Speaker. If you go to Baringo County, it's not only the Tugens who are there. There are various, Mr. Speaker, first clans of the Tugen community in Baringo. But you also add there are Pokots, there are James, Mr. Speaker, there are Kikuyus, there are people from all tribes in Baringo. The same to Elgeyo Marakwet County. So you cannot, Mr. Speaker, now pigeonhole this issue to this community versus the other one. And I really think that there is a hand, Mr. Speaker, within the current administration that wants to use the Laikipia situation to divide people into communities so that Senator Lelegwe here will come and disagree with Senator Kinyua, Mr. Speaker, and fight each other and say it is this pastoralism versus the farmers and so forth. This statement from Senator Lelegwe is a timely, good statement that speaks to the issues without dichotomizing, Mr. Speaker, us versus them. And Mr. Speaker, Senator Lelegwe is asking very important questions. Why would security kill livestock? Why would they destroy property? I thought they went there to protect the property, Mr. Speaker. I thought they went there to restore unity and peace among communities. I thought they went there to look for criminals, Mr. Speaker. How come, Mr. Speaker, every time there's a cattle rustling problem in any part of this country, there is no single person who has been arrested and charged in a court of law? Even in the Laikipia situation, Mr. Speaker, how come up to now, nobody, no citizen has been taken to court? Forget about the question of rushing to politicians. Where are the real perpetrators that are holding the guns and destroying and killing people? And they do not have to have a tribal tag. They are bandits and must be dealt with as bandits, not because they come from community X or Y. And Mr. Speaker, Senator Lelegwe is also asking an important question. Mr. Speaker, what is going to happen to pastoralist competition between pastoralists, Mr. Speaker, looking for grass and water, and those who are farmers who are established and growing their crops and protecting their grass, Mr. Speaker, so that they can feed their livestock or to sell their grass? What's going to happen? Mr. Speaker, what's the government policy on this issue? Mr. Speaker, Senator Lelegwe is even asking, Mr. Speaker, you have government that supposedly have 15,000 acres, Mr. Speaker, which is supposed to be ADC Mutara Ranch. And Mr. Speaker, this ADC Mutara Ranch, supposedly from the Minister of Interior himself. Minister of Interior himself said this property is owned by the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Ruto. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has said, I do not own that property of ADC Mutara Ranch. So that begs the question, and the Deputy President even went ahead and said, donate this. If you find any 15,000 acres of land in Laikipia, supposedly Mutara Ranch, that belongs to him, donate it to pastoralists to go and graze their livestock. So, Mr. Speaker, I want the Security Committee and this Senate to invite the Minister of Interior, Honorable C.S. Matiang'i, to come here, Mr. Speaker, and we officially donate. There is no need for verification. Government cannot just speak. A cabinet secretary cannot just walk here and speak. The cabinet secretary knows very well that there is an idle 15,000 acres of land that is neither owned by ADC nor owned by the Deputy President. Why can't we publicly donate this property to pastoralists, Mr. Speaker, so that they can live in harmony and graze their livestock inside there and avoid this situation where, Mr. Speaker, there's a competition between pastoralists and farmers? It's because of that reason that, Mr. Speaker, we are saying on the floor of this House that, Mr. Speaker, the people like Kivya deserve peace. We deserve peace in Kerio Valley. I told you last week that, Madam Speaker, in Tot, where I come from, today we are burying, Mr. Speaker, a young man from Tot area, Mr. Speaker. And almost every week we've been burying 2 or 3 people, Madam Speaker. And this is the issue that it bothers all of us, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. And I want to request that the Security Committee become a little bit serious. I saw my friend Senator Uta saying we are not this, we are not that. Mr. Speaker, I think we are just basically chastising and encouraging our committee. We are trying to tell the committee they must live up to the expectations. How comes the Speaker? I'm willing to be informed, Madam, by Senator.
Mr. Speaker, I agree that this committee must become more serious. Madam Speaker, sorry. It's for your information, and distinguished Senator Murkomen. On the Wednesday 15th at 8 a.m., we had asked the Minister Interior, Minister C.S. Lands, and C.S. Asar to appear before the committee to answer to matters that relate to the conflicts in those areas and issues to do with boundary conflicts. Mr. Speaker, and what shocked me, because personally I believe Parliament is supreme. Parliament is a serious institution, and once conned by Parliament, then you must leave other duties and go and answer before the House on any matter that you've been asked to. So, Madam Speaker, when we asked the Parliament, when we asked those ministers to appear before the National Security Committee, this is the response, Murkomen, I want them to hear, that came from the CS Interior. And the CS Interior, I think, is so overwhelmed, so obsessed with the power that they should live that will not go beyond 10 months. And the letter that came from him Mr. Speaker, and Madam Speaker, and signed by a Mr. A or C, and because it's so big, he can't sign a letter to the committee, reads and says the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and Coordination of National Government is not in a position to honor the invitation due to exigencies of duty. This is, for avoidance of doubt and for more clarity, this is when we ask the minister, these ministers to appear, the Minister Interior, or the Cabinet Secretary Interior, through a Mr. Osia, on a letter dated 14th September, because the meeting was supposed to have been yesterday, to discuss these issues, wrote to the committee and sent. The Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and Coordination of National Government is not in a position to honor the invitation due to exigencies of duty. You are therefore requested to postpone the meeting to a later date. This letter is not courteous. Madam Speaker, even anybody as in respect and without contempt of Parliament would have tried to explain himself why he would not have been able to attend. He would even have further written and sent, I propose that I appear before the committee on this date. And the matters that we are asking him to appear to one's own are issues related to security, loss of lives, protection of property. So we need to be serious on these issues. I agree, even if this whole House was supposed to take this matter on itself, because I said again, and I'm not afraid of repeating myself, that committee has no capacity to deal with this matter, because even when this matter was adjourned or the acceptance or the changes of postponement was done, there was no consultation between the members of the committee, because some of us would have opposed, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, that was very long information.
That was Madam Speaker, just to conclude, I think my take for the people of on this statement is that as a Senate and the committee and this House, we must be able to achieve two things, in my own opinion. Number one, restoration of peace in Laikipia, but in a manner that does not divide the Laikipia people between us versus them. Whether it's pastoralists, whether it's farmers, whether it is this community or the other. I know, and you know very well, Madam Speaker, that even people from your own community live in Laikipia. And Laikipia is a cosmopolitan area, just like many parts of Rift Valley. We must achieve unity of purpose in Laikipia without dichotomizing the fight as us versus them. Number two, we must achieve justice. Madam Speaker, the criminals must be arrested. Government cannot, Madam Speaker, legitimize extrajudicial killing. And like Senator Orengo said, we cannot fight a good war by violating Chapter 4 of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. We must do it in a manner that is in accordance with the Constitution. And therefore, extrajudicial killing where people are being killed on sight, Madam Speaker, where they should have been arrested. Of course, some of them are armed and dangerous, so you can understand if equal force is applied and, Mr. Speaker, they die. But the effort must be to bring them to justice. Number two is that livestock are not criminals. So killing livestock, Madam Speaker, is actually establishing a very terrible order in our country where, you know, you are actually, this is a shortcut where the security people are saying, let's kill all the livestock, therefore there will be no competition for livestock and for pasture and water. This is a shortcut for security. We must, Madam Speaker, protect also property of those who live in Laikipia, unlike this indiscriminate destruction of property. And I hope if we achieve this as a Senate, we'll be able to go far. And I have said and insisted, as a person who since 2013 was elected, has gone for meetings of security on cattle rustling almost 3 times every year, and sometimes continuously for about 3 to 4 months. I do not believe that this thing has us versus them. I don't think there is ODM or Jubilee or UDA or any other political party or majority or minority side. This is an issue that should unite this House and unite this country to find a lasting solution. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. The next senator is Senator Cherargei, but I thought I watched Cherargei speak.
No, not on this.
Okay. So Senator Cherargei Samson Kiprotich.
Madam Speaker, you should be looking forward for me for being very active in the House. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a few comments because I don't want to speak a lot. I agree largely with what my colleagues have said. The Majority Leader, Senator Murkomen, People's Majority Leader, the future Governor of Siaya, well spoken. I agree. Mutatis Mutandis, Senator Orengo. Mr. Speaker, two things. I agree this is very unfortunate that we are discussing this. I remember last week, the House spoke itself, they pronounced themselves, but I want to thank Senator Lilengwe for bringing to the attention this issue. We had one perspective last week, but now we have a second perspective, Madam Speaker. It is unfortunate that the security apparatus in this country are confusing criminal elements for killing cows or livestock. Killing more than 5,000 cattle is unfortunate, Madam Speaker. And also even these things have been reported with the police, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, from where I sit, I agree the issues in Laikipia is not about the use of force and gun and deployment of military or any other or even national police reservice. That is part one of solution of the problem. But the underlying issue that we are facing in Laikipia looks like more it's about the ownership and possession of land within Laikipia, Madam Speaker. And I think it is a high time. And I know maybe government wants to play soft diplomacy against the people who own land, especially big ranches, the foreigners. It is good to have foreigners in our country invest because they give us revenue. But it should not be done at the expense of the people who are living in Laikipia. The people living in Laikipia, Madam Speaker, have an opportunity to ensuring, Madam Speaker, that they get where they can take for pastures, Madam Speaker. They can ensure they get a good place for their people, Madam Speaker, and land and place to live, Madam Speaker. But I think as a Senate, Madam Speaker, in conclusion, is I want to appeal that let us push for restoration of peace. Then secondly, understand the underlying issues that, like Senator Ledama has taken us to are very expansive issues that really affect the people of Laikipia, Madam Speaker. And we appreciate that Laikipia, even my family members also live in Laikipia, just like you was. So how do we ensure peace is there, number two? And then, in all honesty, Madam Speaker, address the underlying issues. Finally, Madam Speaker, it is unfortunate, and allow me to read this section of the Constitution, because the senior government officials sitting, especially the people in charge of security, from the CS Interior, the IG, who should be independent as Article 245, Madam Speaker, the DCIO, and many others. I just want to remind them, Article 153.3, that says a cabinet secretary shall attend, it's not say may, shall attend before a committee of the National Assembly or the Senate. It does not say the National Assembly, it also says or the Senate when required by the committee, and answer any question concerning a matter for which the cabinet secretary is responsible. The violation of this, and in the upshot of this, Madam Speaker, is a contempt towards this House. Any cabinet minister, it says, shall appear. And yesterday, Madam Speaker, you pronounced that the CS in charge of energy and petroleum to appear next week on Tuesday. Why is it hard for the CS of Interior to come and brief the nation? And you remember, Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I was collecting signatures to have a special sitting on a matter that was of national importance. The CS of Interior decided to invite himself and do a lifestyle audit in some of the senior leaders in this republic. You have heard even the ADC Mutara that is being mentioned. The person who was purportedly deputy president belongs to, has even said, if that land belongs to me, give to the pastoralists, Madam Speaker. So I want to really appreciate, and you know Article 226, it is very clear that even after you leave that office, Madam Speaker, you are still being capable in what you did in that office at personal level. So even if these people despise, Madam Speaker, and we have seen today, Madam Speaker, that courts have convicted a former CS and a former person in charge due to Rio 2016 Olympic scandals. These are issues that we are discussing when you say abuse of office is not following the law that you have been provided. Madam Speaker, I request this issue of Laikipia is so urgent. I request when you pronounce, Madam Speaker, let the CS of Interior, Matiang'i, appear here, the IG Inspector Mutiambai, DCIO, and all senior security officers, and even CS for lands to appear before this House as a committee of the all on either Wednesday or Thursday next week. And all senators, we can come and critique and analyze. And I can assure Kenyans who are seeing us, Madam Speaker, that they will not be disappointed if the Senate of the all will all this committee. And the Committee of National Security should not get worried. They know they have a lot of heavy schedule, but we are trying to lighten their burden. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity.